When admits, yeah, just admit them later on. Let me know when you start
Yes,
recording.
yes. Sure. I've started.
Okay, so I welcome you all today for another introductory IT training session at GuruSchools. Thank you so much for investing your time during the weekday. Today's session is on Agile Scrum training along with certification. It's an overview and introductory session as to what we will be doing during the training schedule of 4+ weeks. We will try to summarize it in an hour's time. It's one of the most popular track because Agile Scrum is evolving and it's getting popular day by day in corporate America. It's also the easiness to learn because it is easy. All it needs is simple common sense with good people skills and being organized. And these three ingredients can easily get you an Agile Scrum professional. Because it is reasonably easy to learn, this is one of the most popular track we have, where a lot of people wants to learn and join and get into the employment track in corporate America. Let me give a brief about Guru Schools. Guru Schools, as the name suggests, is the modern marketplace in the form of ancient Gurukul. Uh, Education is one strength. Once it comes to you, it stays within you. And by sharing, it only grows. So it's our humble effort using our dual nationality, that is India and the USA. We are bringing this world class information technology education, which otherwise is very expensive if you were to get this training in the USA, to the ambitious people in the USA primarily by giving them a good blend and a good mix of theoretical and practical experience. For many lateral and experienced professionals, this will be a great way of upskilling, meaning learning, unlearning, and relearning to ensure they're adding value to their candidature, to their experience, which has become the need of the hour as things have been evolving and changing for better. Along with the training, we also embark upon ensuring you have a reference ready resume, and we also invest our time towards vendor interview preparation and client interview preparation, and also as and when you get a job to provide you, at least for the initial 3 to 6 months, project support assistance. As this is a Q4, and on top of it, we have COVID-19 pandemic, which means the entire globe is suffering, getting into recession, and the economy is suffering, which is leading to millions of people being unemployed. And this is our humble effort towards helping people, thereby helping India and the USA. As a note, 10% of our earning goes to various causes which are near to dear to us in the USA as well as in India. To example, during COVID-19 outbreak, since April, we have helped over 14,000 people here in the USA in terms of giving them sanitizers, lunch boxes, food, masks, gloves, and about 8.7 lakh people in India, primarily in Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Nasik, Navi Mumbai, Thane. Along with Agile Scrum, the other technology focused area where we provide training as well as consulting are in no particular order: cloud DevOps, big data, Python data science, Java full stack, .NET full stack, robotics process automation, Selenium QA automation, business intelligence visualization tools using Tableau or Click, Salesforce administration and development. And also, we provide training and support along with Scrum on business analysis, project management, and quality assurance. We are also, along with the training, we have a training and a certification organization. So, and also product partners for various companies, which means people who enroll in our training classes also have an edge in terms of getting certified in those particular tracks, which adds value to their career. In terms of the client, we work primarily with all major Indian outsourcing partners like Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, TCS, HCL, Tech Mahindra, Hexaware, L&T Infotech, and many others, as well as the US clients like Kforce, Manpower, Kelly, Robert Half, and many others. We also have small mid-sized client segmentation where the local hotel, motel, restaurants, healthcare practitioners, we manage their website design, development, hosting, as well as digital marketing. Using our India and US heritage, we are able to do this work with utmost efficiency 24/7 at a fraction of the cost. These are difficult times, right? It's very depressing to see such a job loss and so many people are suffering. And hence, we are trying our level best to ensure we work round the clock towards giving the training. Sharpening the axe is more important than chopping the tree. That's a Stephen Covey's principle. And Q4 is primarily must be used towards training, learning, relearning, and unlearning. As I said, these are various training tracks between 4 to 6 weeks of duration. These tracks are running across weekdays and weekends, as there are several tracks running parallelly. These training tracks are free for you if you're looking to work through GuruSchool and GuruSchool-owned companies on our projects. It's kind of our way to giving it back to corporate America by investing in our people. Why we are unique? Well, we are unique in a way where most of the other training companies or other firms are there to charge you money anywhere from a couple of $100 to a few $1,000s and give you some paper compliance namesake training. We are here not to make quick bucks. We are here to transform you a career-focused employment, which helps you not only theoretical learning, but real-time project experience, the much-needed help towards vendor client interviewing and client interviewing and ongoing project support. In today's session, as I said, it's an introductory overview session. What does that mean? That means it's a movie trailer. It's not the actual movie, wherein you will be exposed over the next 1 hour, about 1 hour, as to what it entails in this 4+ weeks of training. It will give you enough idea if this is something which you can think of enrolling yourself, learning yourself, and that's something of an interest to you to have that as a career. I request you to please be muted when the trainer will be speaking. Upon asking questions, please feel free to ask question, or you could simply use the chat option towards raising any of your doubts or question. For today's session, we have 2 trainers, primarily Ravindra Pandey and Richa Saxena. Both of them have over 10 years of experience and are expert when it comes to whether project management, business analysis, quality management, or Scrum. We ensure, as a part of our training, we include both the genders because we get audience of both the genders and it helps them towards having an optimal learning. So without doing any further ado, I would like to invite Ravi and Richa, and they can start the training. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Devji. This is Ravindra Pandey, and I'm going to start the session, and Richa will follow after some slide. So this is about doing certification. This is about getting recognition of your talent, getting recognition of whatever work you are doing, and getting it approved or certified by a world-class authority to whom we are partner with, to whom we have close connections. We do share, daily dose of best practices, the templatization, and all the tools, advancements which are they have encompassed in their trainings as well as in their certifications. So this is basically we are presenting as a partner to beat Agile, fraternity, PMI fraternity, and there are a couple of other fraternities who are working towards the betterment of the project management processes. So Agile, Scrum, these are all project management processes which basically contributing to the overall, project management success all over the globe. And this is how it's our share of, improvement of the process, achieving greater success, reducing the, obstacle, reducing all the hurdles which come into typical project management obstacles, and help the overall enthusiast to be a better, better manager, better, tools administrator, better utilization of this template, and even add value to this templatization process so that whoever come in the next generation, they'll have much better and easier life to achieve to. And this is also part of overall evolution. So as Devji told us, we are basically adding it to the whole project management fraternity to improve the process, to evolve the process much better way. Okay, and that's our a couple of cents going to the project management fraternity overall. So let's talk about Agile Scrum certification. Here we are talking about certification of trainees, where we enable them with various topics, various workshops, various hands-on experience, and various other various other tools which are nominated or suggested by the project management fraternity all over the world as in best practices. So we do have best practices templatization which we share with trainee. We have a hands-on workshop, and there are quite a few workshops who are made mandatory nowadays with this remote working and the overall COVID pandemic enablement for the remote working. And there are some best practices which have came up to a level we are trying to enable ourselves for a remote working. So project management have become more distributed, more spread, and we are normally working via remote sensing for as in project managers as well. So you have to be enabled with these new tool sets, how to cope up with this pandemic, how to cope up with this remote working type of methodology coming on. Previously we used to have something like project manager should be on ground, and if anybody wants any difficulty solved, he or she should visit the office and so on and so forth, even if that developer or that development partner is working remotely. But nowadays the remote work is all that is enabling us to achieve a better maturity, better process management, better enablement of a remote tools. And that's how the whole change in the Agile fraternity as well as project management fraternity as well, right? So I'll just start with the overall presentation. This is all about this is about Agile Scrum certification, to be precise. Okay, and there are two trainers, as Devji correctly said. Me, Ravindra Pandey, I have around 26 years of experience. I worked in 16 different countries, around 6 different continents, so on and so forth. Richa ji is working in IT for around 10 plus years of experience. She is successful, certified, in Scrum training. She is working as a Scrum master for last, 4 plus years. So that's all about us. Let's try to understand the agenda. As we can clearly understand, this is all about project management. So understanding what is project management, understanding the history of evolution, how the project management evolved, right? There was something like sequential project management, then there is an iterative, there's overlap of stages, there was enhancement in terms of monitoring control, how to cost usage, how to reduce the pitfalls, reduce the overall requirement creep, functional creep, and all those things. So we have enabled ourselves with all these, positive things, and try to reduce the negative thing as much as possible. So there comes the matured way of project management called Agile Principles. So we use agility, how to use, why we chose that, and where is the exact agile, what they call agile manifesto, agile values, how we can cope up within our working. That's what the overall trainee is going to learn, but after understanding the philosophy behind it. So it's not just like this is the template, start using it. It's basically why the template, what are the elements in the template, how the template have been evolved, how it's reaching your desk, and how you're going to start using it as well. So understand methodology, understand framework, and then go to thinking of certification. So certification is basically kind of just a final step or the result, but there's a whole thing which goes before certification. So as a trainee, you will understand the management, project management, all the evolution of the project management, which are the templates, which are the methodologies, which are the framework we normally use, and then we will have a hands-on workshop for a project management training as well. So we have around 34-hour workshop for our training, so that we make you try those things. We make you get your hands dirty, try to understand the intricacy of even cultures, remote working, various tools, various DevOps, various testing tools, various release management tools. There are global monitoring and control tools. So all these tools have been enable the project manager to work effectively and efficiently. That's how we're going to use, that's how we're going to learn step by step, and that's how the overall training progresses. And there is also personal development involved here, because you yourself as a human being migrating yourself to work on remotely, or start supporting everybody remotely, start working together, even if you are never touched anybody, or even if you are not basically met person one to one, but still you are working as a team. So nowadays, due to corona pandemic, we are literally working in a global environment. So it really doesn't matter if my assistant project manager or if my test manager is not working in the same continent I'm working on. We have achieved to bridge the gap across various time zones, across various continents, and across various domains as well, for that matters. So we are actually sharing the resources across the project, across the continent, and across the globe overall. And that's how the overall project manager management is matured, and so the project managers. Of course, you're going to learn the tools, you need to adapt to the tools, and then start using those tools. So we are going to make sure you try on those tools, you work through the workshops, you use those tools, you get the outputs as and when required. So that's how this project training capsule has been designed for a project manager. I'll now start understanding certifications which are available for participants, and what are these certifications actually do. Right, there are these certifications basically for depending on the seniority, work experience. There are some mandatory requirement by the certification authority which have to be made by the candidate. So there are some restrictions which certificate you can do and can't do. So we need to understand those as well whenever you're going to join. So there could be some couple of steps before you took a certification, right? So there is a training, and there's overall need of experience, need of having executed a project before, or two, or something like that. So there are certain restrictions nowadays applied, and there has a kind of requirement of a maturity of experience before you do for a certification, right? We'll have look at that as well in detail. We can tweak it a bit, but not extensively, but we'll still help the trainee to achieve whatever it's required. And that's how we help you work with hand in hand with each and every trainees, and we will make sure you'll achieve the certification at the end of the day. So that's how overall the training is planned. So we are looking about PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. As the name suggests, this is certificate is governed by Project Management Institute. This is the one of the most matured institute in project management methodology. They have their PMP certification, the PMI certification, and there are around 11 odd certification from PMI for project management. But as far as Agile project management goes, these are the few certification which they were also given. So they have these exam for it. So it's basically kind of for experienced Agile practitioners. which are going to achieve a kind of maturity, or which basically can really depict the complexity you embraced earlier. You thrived on the rapid response time, how you can prove your talents with this certificate, as far as which are largely in demand. So this is a kind of very top level certification which you can achieve as an PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. And then there's another certificate called Disciplined Agile Scrum Master. This is also kind of mastering in Scrum. Agile is a methodology, Agile is a framework, Scrum is another type of Agile frameworks within Agile fraternity. So these certificates specifically for Scrum, because Scrum is the most matured, most evolved, and most favorite Agile practice used all over the globe. So to master that is basically you're creating a demand for for yourself. So the market is really looking for such talents which are disciplined Agile Scrum Masters. So if you achieve these certificates, there are really great chances of you getting a job within a week's time. That's the normal scenario. Okay, and this is really easy. This basically talks about the fundamentals of Agile, the lean approaches like Scrum, Kanban, SAFe, and all the other implementation thing, plus Agile toolkit which is available which is can be made familiar with during the training. So this you can achieve without any much experience. So and we will help to you to get there. Then PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. This is basically certified practitioner. That's a Scrum Master, right? There are a bit of small differences. Now we are talking about a complete Agile Certified Practitioner. So there are other flavors of Agile called extreme programming, called paired programming. There are these flavors can be used and can be certified by this PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. So there are around 6 different flavors of Agile which is in use globally. Few more, few less. Scrum is the best. Scrum is globally standardized now. It's evolved over last 10-15 years. But XP is in use as far as extreme programming. That's what we call XP normally. So extreme programming is in use for last 50 odd years. That's also quite matured. We have really great templatization and method framework available for Agile XP. So these are the 2 most used Agile practices which you can get certified via PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. Okay. Any questions at this moment for me? Okay, I'll move to the next slide. So there are now these are the certificate from Agile fraternity, right? So disciplined Agile Senior Scrum Master. This is basically to accelerate your ability as a Scrum Master. How to embed the latest best practices, latest tools available which are certified by the Agile fraternity, and how we can use it, how we can customize it to the given scenario, how this is achieved via Agile fraternity, get their templatization, get their frameworks modification which is fit to your need, fit to your project, and start using those things. Then there's a disciplined Agile coach. So you are kind of being a mentor of Agile. So this certification basically let you have the training, let you have the approach of train the trainer as well, and you can create more disciplined Agile coaches within your organizations if the organization sponsors you for this. This also requires certain seniority in terms of previous Agile experience, previous Agile challenges you handled. So there is a requirement of presenting such case studies and the experience required for these things. This is a kind of a next level certification as far as Agile coach or Agile mentoring is concerned. These are basically designed for mentors or the coach which are required to do consultation, to do training, to improve the overall processes for a given Agile flavor, right? And then there's a disciplined Agile value stream consultant. This is specifically for master disciplined Agile. Use the value of stream management that allows you to load entire organization in implementing enterprise-wide domain-specific needs specifically. So this is basically talking about customization for a given domain, customization for a given specific need of the organization. Like even American military, they have these agile value stream consultant. These guys have strictly defined processes which are their proprietary. They have patented it and they use them, those things. If you want to use them, you have to acquire the written license from them as well. So there are quite a few companies within the global IT framework which have really streamed or improved agile processes for themselves. Now we have this certification to learn to get such tweaking at a next level customization required for a particular domain, and that's how these value stream consultant are planned, or value stream consultant are basically working close together. Now let's talk about overall agility. Let's try to understand what is agility, how we can use that within our day-to-day life. Can I request Richaji to start?
Thank you so much, Ravindraji, for sharing the knowledge about the certifications.
Most welcome.
Right. So, what is agility and why we need agile in our IT industry? So, anybody wants to answer this question? This question is for the attendees over here. What do you mean by agility, or what is agile? Anyone from the audience?
Hi, my name is Diptesh. So I would like to answer. Is it okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Diptesh. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, there are two kind of methodology is used in the IT environment nowadays, or any project management environment nowadays. There are two methods. Like one is waterfall, and another one is agile.
Hmm.
So in waterfall methodology, we have to depend like say for example in your environment, if there are five developer works on the same project, and there are certain level like one developer design and put the code in the GitHub, and then other developer are check that code and proceed further. So unless the first developer complete his task, the other four has to wait for his call. So in this case of agile methodology, these are the individual tasks for every developer. So in that case, in waterfall, what would be happen? Like we have to dependent for one task has to complete, and then you can proceed further,
Yeah,
right? So
very true, very true, very true. But I wanted to know about the agile. What is agile and why do we need it? So, for why do we need it, you have clearly answered that to reduce the dependency on the other team members, we have came up with the agile, right?
correct,
This is what you wanted to say, right, Diptesh?
correct.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Diptesh, for this clarification. So, my question was, what is agile? So, agile is basically responding to change, right? The main feature of agile is responding to change. Because in waterfall, what we used to do, we cannot respond to change with a very seamless way, or we say in a very effective manner. So that's why agile framework came into the picture. And agile is purely based on the general human behavior, how the human behaves in certain situation. They have collected all those situations and came up with the solutions called Agile and Scrum, and the other framework of Agile like XP, Kanban, and rest all. Okay, so Agile is basically why we need Agile: to have the better customer satisfaction, which we don't have in waterfall. I'm not saying that the 100% customer satisfaction we have in agile, but yes, it is better than the waterfall. Why? Because sometimes what happens, like I just say that what is a software? A software is just an idea which came into someone's mind, right? So while developing, the person, the client, in the general language, the client has to describe his or her idea to the entire team, and entire team works on it, right? But in Agile, Waterfall, what happens? It goes with the hierarchy. Like client will describe this to the BA team or the business team, and then they will describe it to the development team. Here, the gap comes into the picture. It may happen that client wants A, business people has understand B, and they have transferred that requirement to the development team. And development team has understood something else, which is C, and they have created that. Now, what delivered to the client is C, and what he was expecting A, right? So what will happen at the end of the project? When client sees the project, he'll say, no, boss, this was not my requirement. I wanted a simple A. What did you made over here? You make C. I don't want C. If your luck is good, the client will give you some time to modify that and to correct the software. If he or she is losing business from his clients, then they'll directly say, no, boss, I don't want this. You take your product and go. Okay, so for that, to come up with these situations, we have introduced Agile, wherein we have escaped the middle hierarchy. The development team directly can communicate with the client, the product owner. In terms of Agile, we call it as a product owner who owns the product, who has the idea of the software. That person is called as a product owner. Okay, the product owner would remain a person only. It would never be a team. Product owner is the only person. Okay, so he knows what exactly he wants to build, and he describes it directly to the development team. So here the middle hierarchy has vanished up, and the possibilities of misunderstanding has been vanished. This is the major benefit of the Agile. Okay, and due to this, so many other benefits are there. Like when you have the frequent communication with the client, and you development team and client knows what is going to be built and what the team is getting building, then there would be a less chances of the waste, right? Everyone is on the same page, so there would be less chances of the waste. Then the next benefit of it, the quality of the product would be very good, because we are getting the confirmation from the client very frequently, so we know where our fault is. When you know that you need to you are going to be examined by tomorrow, what will you do? You will again and again like go through your work, right? Whether it is perfect or not. Remember your days when you were in college and you know that tomorrow you have the practical viva. What will you do? You'll again and again check your product, your practical file, whether it's having everything in place or not. Are you ready for the viva? So the same concept has been taken here, and when we have the product review meeting at the end of the sprint, at that time everyone looks and will go through the product for multiple times, by which we get the better quality of the product. Everyone on the same page? Anyone has any doubt on this? Okay, so this is why we have the Agile in IT industry, right? And these four are the major values of the Agile. Agile gives more value to the individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Agile says individual is more important for me. Individual means the team member. They are more important to me instead of following a process or tool. And interactions are more important in my team. Why? To have entire team on the same page. So that's why Agile gives the more importance to individuals and interactions. Agile says I am less bothered about the processes and tools. Agile doesn't say that I'm not bothered about the processes and tools. They are there, but they say, but Agile says it has less importance in my way. Okay. Agile gives more importance to the working software instead of comprehensive documentation. It's a myth that Agile doesn't require any documentation. It's a myth. We do have documentations in place, but they are in a less amount. Agile says at the end of every sprint, every cycle, the development team should be ready with something in working condition. Maybe it's just a function which is working, but something needs to be working in at the end of the sprint. Okay, so Agile gives more value to the working software instead of comprehensive documentations. Agile says customer collaboration is more important over contract negotiation. Agile says, I don't believe in contract negotiation. What is that term? I want the customer collaboration to be done more effectively. That's why the product owner is directly available to the development team so that there is less chances of misunderstanding of the requirement, right? So when there is no misunderstanding in the requirement part, then why to negotiate on the contract part? Okay. The fourth value of the Agile is responding to the change. It's a major value of the Agile over following a plan. Agile says if a change comes into the picture late in the sprints also, then also we need to respond to it. Instead of we have a fixed plan, we have a strict we have to go by this. For an example, you are planning for a holiday. Okay, so you are planning for your entire family, and you have decided like from this way we'll go and we'll reach to the destination, right? That's a plan. You have planned for your holidays. But what if you while traveling to your destination, the trains or the flights are now not working due to the weather situations? What will you do? You're not following a plan. Then will you spoil your holiday? No, you will not spoil your holiday. What will you do? You'll find another way to enjoy your holiday. If the weather situation is not in favor of you to reach out to the destination which you have planned, what will you do? You'll try to figure out the way by which you can reach to your destination if it is possible. Otherwise, you'll go for the plan B. It may affect on your budget, but you may plan for a new destination, right? And you will enjoy your holidays, right? So this is how we work in Agile. Okay, any question on this till now? Okay, Ravindraji, we can go ahead. Thank you. So this is the framework of a Scrum, or we can say Agile project. Okay, so we have so many frameworks in Agile, like flexibility, retrospective, risk, and backlogs are there, and sprints are there. So many things are there available in Agile. How we do And in a Scrum also, Agile says you can have your own way of a Scrum also, depending on your situation. Okay. So I don't have much things to describe over here. Can we go ahead to next slide? Yes, thank you. So as I said, Agile is based on the general human behaviors. So every human works or like live their life on some values and principles. Everyone lives on their values and principles, right? So the same way, Agile also have the values and principles. So Agile has 4 values and 12 principles. They are considered as the manifestos of the Agile. Okay, so what is the principles of the Agile? Customer satisfaction. I've already described this. Welcome changes, responding to the change. I've also described this. And deliver a working software. This is also we have described. Collaboration. The customer collaboration is more important, right? Business people and developers must work together during the entire life of a product to have a better understanding. So like when a development team, a developer, specifically a developer, works on it, he is less bothered about the business, how this product is going to be like impacting on the business, right? Developers are least bothered about it. They say, this is what I have to build. I'm going to build this. That's it. I don't know why this is going to be built and how it will work on the work in the like live environment. I may be harsh on my words, but this is the truth of the IT industry, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anywhere, if you feel like that. Okay, so I'm telling you as per my experiences, and since I'm in industry also, so that's why I'm speaking in that way. Okay, so when why Agile says the collaboration between the business people and development team to tell about the business also to the development team. And sometimes what happens, business people says the requirement which is not at all feasible with the technology, but that is important as per them because it is giving more business to them. That functionality is giving more business to them, but development team says, boss, this is not feasible in terms of technology which we are using. So here is the gap, right? Business people thinks about the business and development team thinks about the technical challenges and everything. So Agile wants them to work together and understand the situation of both the people. Development teams should understand the things as per the business persons, and business person also understand what all could be the technical challenges with the functionalities, right? They should not overcome it in terms of the functionality provided by the team. So that's why Agile says we want the collaboration between business and development team. Yeah, Ravindraji, we can go ahead. Okay, so the next principle is motivation. Projects should be built around motivated individuals. Provide an environment to support individual team members and trust them so as to make them feel responsible to get the job done. If I ask one person in my team and assure that person that I trust on that person, okay, so what that person will return me, he'll give the quality product done for me, quality work to be done by them, right? Why? It's a general human behavior. If we give the responsibility or we showcase our trust towards that person gives the reliability, like gives the 100% quality in terms of the product, in terms of the work done, right? So that the same thing, when you give the trust and this kind of environment get developed in your team members will always be motivated. They'll not feel like leftover person or the less important person in the team. Everyone is important in the team, and everyone is like, we as a management team uh, have the trust on the development team, right? So by, if we provide this kind of environment, the development team will return us as the 100% work done with the quality thing, right? Face-to-face conversation. Agile says face-to-face conversation is the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and with the development team. Why this? Because sometimes written communication or telephonic communication mislead you in terms of emotions or in terms of the way that thing has been conveyed. So that's why Agile says face-to-face conversation is more effective conversation. So that's why they prefer to have the face-to-face conversation, and that's why they prefer to have the entire team at the same location to be seated. Okay. Measure the progress as per the working software. Working software is the key, and it should be the primary measure of the progress. In Agile, we don't measure our progress as in terms of like roadmap, targets achieved, in terms of dates. We have planned that this phase should get completed on this date, and this way we don't consider our progress. We consider our progress to in terms of how much work of the product, how much part of the product is in working condition. That is our measurement in terms of progress. Okay. Maintain constant pace. Agile processes aim towards this sustainable development. The business and the developers and the users should be able to maintain a constant pace with the project. We always have the like if we can by this we can also predict how much time this project will take to get completed. Okay, so everything depends on the like what is our working style, how much part of the software we are working within the sprint. Monitoring, pay regular attention to the technical excellence and good design to the enhance agility, right? Like we don't need to give the like extreme attention to the technical people, because they are self-motivated and we know they will give us the 100% of them, right? That's why we don't require much monitoring. We require only the regular terms of attention, right? It's not like we don't require micromanagement in this, just like we trust on them. So that's why we don't require much monitoring thing in this. Simplicity, keep things simple and use simple terms to measure the work that is not completed. We used to have the user stories in this Agile. What is the user story? User story is the smallest part of the software which can be developed. That is the user story. So while distributing in the user stories, we used to keep things in mind, like the user stories should be very simple, very clear in terms of requirement, and they should not be big one. They should be the smallest part of the requirement. Okay. Self-organized teams, we require the self-organized team. Like an agile team should be self-organized and should not depend heavily on other teams, because the best architectures, requirements and designs emerge from self-organizing organized teams, right? When we have the motivated teams and self-organized team, we don't require to depend on other teams to help us in growing up. Review the work regularly. As I said, when we know that our work is going to be reviewed by someone else, we used to give the frequent review to our work. So the same thing is mentioned here. Okay, Ravindraji, please next slide. Thank you. Okay, so these were the principles and values of the Agile. Now, this is the Professional Scrum Master certifications. This is provided by Scrum Alliance. Okay, so PSM 1, PSM 2, and PSM 3. 3 certifications are available. For the start of the Scrum Master role, we would prefer you to go for Professional Scrum Master certifications. Okay, we will train you to achieve this certification in one attempt, and this will help you in growing your career in terms of as a Scrum Master. Okay, so this is having a good market value, good, like organizations have good value to this certifications also. So this will help you in expand your career opportunities across all the industry sectors, adapting agile practices, and demonstrate your attainment of core Scrum knowledge. Learn the foundation of a Scrum and the scope of the role. Engage with agile practitioners committed to continuous improvement, and begin your journey to your professional Scrum Master. Right? Okay. It's like when you go for your, like if you are looking for a job in Scrum Master and you say that I am certified as PSM or any other Scrum related certification which has been described by Ravindraji, so you will get the more weightage in your profile. Okay, and this is just a one-time investment. You need not to renew this certification in your lifelong time. Okay, okay, Ravindraji, we can go ahead. Okay, so what would be the course agenda in this particular Scrum Master training or Scrum training? So we'll try to explain you what is Agile, why we need Agile, and introduction of Scrum, Scrum framework, what is actually Scrum framework, and what all roles are available in the Scrum, like product owner, Scrum Master, and the development team. There are only 3 roles in the Scrum, that is, those are product owner, Scrum Master, and development team. Okay, so this is the Scrum framework, how it works, and how we proceed further with the Scrum. Okay, next slide, please. These are the Scrum events. So like we have the sprint planning, we have the daily stand-up meeting or daily Scrum, we have the sprint review, we have a sprint retrospectives, and I told you about the user stories, and we'll definitely try to explain you some estimations, estimation technologies, and what is the release planning, how we go with how we go in the agile terms. Okay, so each event, each ceremony of agile of a Scrum has the defined agenda and the defined timelines for each ceremony. Okay, but which is very much strict to be followed, and we cannot escape a sprint planning, we cannot escape daily Scrum, and even we cannot escape the agenda, and we cannot go beyond the agenda defined for these ceremonies. Okay, so these all things we are going to cover in our training. I guess we are running out of time also, so I'll wrap up over here only. So these all things are there. Ravindraji, that's thank you. That's it. Okay. So this is the basic agenda of this Scrum training, which is designed. And any question for me or Ravindraji? We are available for questions.
Does any programming experience as a mandatory requirement?
No, it is not required. For Scrum Master, it is not at all required to be a technical person.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is basically project management, and understanding the project management with the given discipline. As Richaji clearly told, these are the basically defined framework, and all these Scrum Masters, Scrum Project Master, they work within this definition. So we will teach you how to use this framework, how to use these templates which are provided. There are strict discipline of how to conduct meeting, how long can the meeting be, and so on and so forth. So this is disciplines are what is basically implemented on ground, and then you can adapt it according to your domain where you're working on within the organizational process framework. So this is what the overall requirement of a manager. So you're not going to do any development, but this is more of achieving the project success. That's what it talks about overall. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Sure.
So just another question: will there be any, practice sessions also for for certification and these things?
Yeah. There are basically there are various workshops we have planned, which is also required by certification. So you need to attend those workshops. You need to learn to use those frameworks, follow those disciplines, and all these what you can say, rules and regulation you need to understand, you need to follow, right? So we need to do a hands-on workshop. So how a project can be planned with using all these templates, how the user story has to be created, how those to be reviewed, how the backlog has to be crunched out, how the scrum meeting to be conducted within 15 or 20-minute max, and so on and so forth. So these are rules and regulation which you implement for the complete project team. So there'll be a workshop how to implement, what are the tools available, what are the online tools you have to use for monitoring, control, and all these things. So it's a part and parcel of overall requirement for a project manager who is enabled with the latest technology. You can think in that line. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, please. If you have any questions, feel free. Please don't worry.
There is one more question.
Sure, go ahead, please.
So will you also help towards preparing for interview to find a job?
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
We have a I'll take you to that slide. We have an extensive, what you can say, GuruSchool progressive plan. We have workshop. I told you about that. We have a hands-on practices. Means we took some really good business idea of a project or critical projects or deviated project, and we work on those things. There will be at least 3 workshop on a critical project, and then we have question banks for various interviews. We have handholding with exams. We have various certification authorities which closely are working with us, so that you could get really great help from them. We have practice exam planned as far as web practice exam goes, and then we have also interviewing support. Means if you're going for an interview, we have a ample of question banks, and as we are working in this industry for a longer period, so we have all tie up with these various interviewing facility who can help you to reach support to interviewing for a particular domain or interviewing for a particular organization for that matters. So they know what are the typical questions there are on table, and so on and so forth. So we can guide you on that, and of course we have a on-job support also. Means if you have any difficulty on job, you can call us, you can WhatsApp us, email us, and we'll be there with you as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Yeah,
No
sir,
problem.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so does it requires any programming experience as mandatory requirement?
I already answered that.
Definitely no.
Come again, please.
Yeah, Ravindraji, she was asking about the technical background. So
Yeah.
that's
As
not.
there's no need for programming experience. In short,
Okay.
you have a complete discipline mandated in that framework. You have a typical what you can say, templates to be used, rules to be followed, and even the meeting conduction also has some rules. The daily scrum meeting and those things also have certain rule of you can't go above certain limit and so on and so forth. So this framework is really evolved, really developed to a level where if you follow the rules, rather you have to follow the rules, and there's no technology involved like .NET, Java, or something like that. You don't have to be a developer or a programmer to be a project manager.
Okay. Okay, sir.
One more thing. So,
Hello, I had a question.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to know, can we get a remote job? Like, is there a
Yeah.
possibility?
All the jobs for the next, I think, at least 3 months, they're all remote. Means you are working remotely, and that's how there are quite a few tools which you need to get acquainted to, and that's how the overall, that's why the training is. That's why the overall, workshops are basically how to use these tools, how to check out how much work has been delivered, how many results have been, you could see, and those things as well. So that's the training what you require for now. Even the exams are remote, so you have to do exams within your home, or previously they used to have certain exam centers, but now you can do it on your from your home as well. So it's getting easier as far as exam goes. It's getting easier as far as certification goes. But it's really being better and more efficient if you use the global toolset available. And these toolsets are really evolved over the time for the pandemics. So project managers remote work is already quite enabled up to a quite good level. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes. And who can help me with the process of registration? Like, whom do I reach out to?
We do. Yeah, your coordinator can also help you, or we can, help you there as well. No problem.
how much
All
is the
right.
fee
Thank
structure
you.
for this one?
No problem. Come again, please.
Sorry, how much is the fee structure?
See, we have a, it's a free.
Ravindra, let me answer that. Who is this? Who has this question? Your name, sir?
Diptesh.
Sorry?
Diptesh.
Diptesh. So Diptesh, if you plan on working in the USA and plan on working through GuruSchool or GuruSchool owned consulting firm like Sandvista and all, this will be a free training course for you. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
If you just wants to get the training and be happy about it, meaning you don't have plans on taking a job or you already have a job and no need for project, then you will be paying $500 as a fees plus the certification cost.
Okay. And one more thing. So, do we need to is it compulsory that we need to certified on PMI? Because why I'm asking, I just completed my PMP 3 days ago on 28th of October,
Okay.
4 days ago, and I have completed my PMP. So, do you want me to do PMI as well for
No,
Agile?
that's the basic exams. If you look at the overall PMI, PMP certification, there are 11, certification which are there basically. You have done the first step. So it's depend on your career aspirations, and even Devji will, help you there basically. If you want to, evolve more in terms of project management, if you want to get more achieved within the project manager, there are around 11 different exams which you can go for, right? But let's take it one-on-one rather than eating up groups time, because I believe we have really good aspirant project managers here, and I think you can contact any coordinator who are talking, you were talking to, or Devji, could you please help
Yeah,
me?
so training at GuruSchools.com, email ID, you can send it to. That's the last slide you'll see here. And that should answer most of your questions. You will have HR reach out to you, answer your question. These are all separate tracks, okay? And these are all various certifications. As Ravindra said, depending upon your appetite to grow in corporate America, you will seek the certification. Knowledge and certification does not goes west. corporate America appreciates it, your peers appreciates it, and even your supervisors appreciate it, right? You can have it on your LinkedIn, you can have it in your resume, and if you can walk the talk, in a sense, if you can during the interview and during the meetings can reflect that experience, and that's going to add feather to your hat. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Because we work with all these global outsourcing companies, often they appreciate someone having this certification. So as an organization, right now we have a track which is a blend of, say, business analysis and Scrum, and the other track which is a blend of project management and business analysis. And then some of the people wanted to only focus on Scrum, and there are some other people who only wanted to focus on business analysis. And the third segment of people who are already business analysts, they wants to gradually progress to the project management. So people who are going through that 8 weeks of track, they get a good overview of business analysis with project management or business analysis with Scrum. But because people wanted to do certifications, have the questions and answers, and because we have the Certification Institute, work closely with them, have the question sets and have the mock sessions and get the certification under the belt, we have this very focused training plus certification capsule programs, which will gear towards certifying whatever training track you are looking for. As I said, there are dozens of training tracks. So whatever you want to pick in, you will be engaging your time and efforts with the study materials and all. And then, of course, it's an open book testing, and the trainers are always there to help you towards the certification process, which enables you to get certified and also enables you to get a job and keep a job, because the same trainer stays with you for the project support. And because of the rate pressure and because of everything is remote, basically there is no difference between you working remotely in the USA vis-a-vis to, say, Ravindra or Richa working in India remotely. And hence there is a big pressure happening in corporate America, rate-wise, salary-wise, meaning the rates are going down and the rates will continue to go downhill. So this is a great opportunity for those who are looking to get into IT. There's a great opportunity for people, for those who are unemployed, because this is simply going to give you an edge, because you're exposed to all nationwide opportunities. You can be in your pajamas, working remote and still have a job. And because you have an anchoring from the trainer, you will be able to retain and keep up your job. And then these are all mundane things, right? Scrum is very easy. I mean, if you're an organized person, if you follow the instructions, if you walk the talk, and if you're social, this is a perfect opportunity for most of you making around 100,000 compensation.
Can I ask you one more question? Sorry about that.
Yes.
One of my friend is in Canada. He's in Toronto, and he's looking to relocate to USA. He's a citizen, you're a Canadian citizen. So he was asking me that if there is any consultancy who can help in TN visa. Excuse me. So is it possible for him, because he is a Scrum?
Well, we have been doing this for 21 years. So TN visa, all it takes is just an offer letter. So we market his or her resume. I'm not sure what your friend's gender is, but we market their resume. As I said, we work with all global outsourcing partners, IT outsourcing partners. We get the confirmation. All interviews are happening right now on our phone or over the web conference calls like this. Once we have a confirmation, we give the offer. He or she crosses the border, showing that offer, and work in the USA for the duration of the project. As I said, many a times these projects are remote also, so they can come in for a week or two for knowledge transfers, for the meet and greet if required, and then again go back and work remotely from Canada.
Perfect.
So still make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Still living in Canada. That's what has happened to most of our consultants in Canada. They're working remotely because it's all human, right? You're dealing with human being, and if you have good rapport and if you're a good valuable resource, the hiring manager is more bothered about getting the job done. It doesn't matter wherever you are sitting in the USA or in Canada.
So perfect. So myself and like
if you
to
could see
join.
the different, yeah, just to add to that, if you could see the different certification, by PMP, if you can see the screen, there are, portfolio management, there are program management, and all these certification have been added, right? And this is a 2021, syllabus and requirements we're talking about. So these are all, the training has been planned for these certification. This is how we are evolving with the PMI. Okay. Thanks for asking question.
No matter what you are trying to do, with the help of trainers and with the help of our question banks, you'll be able to clear that certification. And then most of these are mundane things. Nobody knows everything. We all are learning. So if you have the right mindset, willingness to learn, you will be successful.
Actually, sorry to interrupt you, but I am a member of one of IT group. From there, I found this demo session. So I really appreciated whoever has posted this one. But I think his name is Kumar or something like that. So do I need to reach out to him, or do I? How can you? How
Can
I
you
approach-
read the email at the bottom of the screen?
Yes.
training@guruschools.com.
guruschools.com.
That is correct. So
Okay.
just send an email to training@guruschools.com. Please make sure to also mention your areas of interest and your contact information or callback number so that the team can call you back. And you could also have your friend, he or she who's in Canada, to also send an email. So what we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week, between noon to 1:30, we have a candidate counseling session. So people who are looking for training, looking for a job, mere training plus job or mere job, resume marketing and a job, they come in, we talk to them, understand what their needs are, because we have few group companies, understand what it is, and then we try to help them to the best of our abilities. So I encourage you to drop an email at training@guruschools.com and then have your phone numbers. The HR will contact you back. Okay.
Perfect.
It'll go over time, so I wanted to keep it within an hour. If anybody has any other questions, ask us now. Otherwise, this will be a recorded session which will be posted on our Facebook page, YouTube page, LinkedIn page, and also on our website.
Perfect. Because I have a lot of questions, so I would be really appreciated because I don't want to waste others' time. So
no problem. So you can come on our candidate counseling session, which will be tomorrow at noon. So if you drop an email, then the HR will talk to you, and he or she might bring you on our candidate counseling session.
Perfect.
Which will help you immensely to address your questions and inquiries.
Okay, so I will first of all I will send email to this training@guruschools.com, and then I will get back to you.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Okay.
Really appreciated your effort and time. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Thanks. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other
Anyone
questions?
else have any other questions? I will take it as a no. So thank you all for joining in. Thank you, Ravindra and Richa, for hosting this session. And you all have a good day ahead. It's an election day. Those who can vote, please vote. Voting is our civic right. So if you're a U.S. citizen and if you're in the USA, please fulfill your civic responsibility, which is to give your precious vote. It's a ballot, so make sure you fill the ballot and either drop or go to the center and give it to them. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you all. Have a great day ahead.
Thanks.